Welcome, welcome, welcome,
Howdy,
everybody.
howdy.
Woo, to YMA Matt Chat. I'm Coach Les here with Mr. John Yarwood. And today, this is episode number 62. I'm going to be dealing with injury setbacks in martial arts. And as I'm going to broaden the scope of this, as you listen to this and as you hear what we have to say, I want you to think about if you injure yourself at home, or at work or on the ice shoveling. It's wintertime here in Minnesota. So think about these same things as we talk about these 5 points: respecting the injury, training around the injury, sharpening your overlooked skills, staying in the training environment, and treat recovery like training, because a lot of people don't. They minimize it. They do things, overprotect it. They get lazy, they get fat, and then, all sorts of things. So, listen in today and see how you can take this into your own life. Not just the fact that we're talking about martial arts here. That's just the primary starting point for us today. So with that, Mr. Yarwood.
Yes, sir. So this one's personal for me today. I've been dealing with, Mr. Les too. I've been dealing with I call it a hip injury because when people ask me, I say my hip hurts, right? But essentially, it's kind of a form of sciatica. I have an issue with a muscle that's is inflamed, and it's pinching a nerve that's creating pain down my leg. And there's days when in the morning when I get up, it's hard to walk, it's hard to put my shoes on, that kind of stuff. It got worse for a little while, and then it got better. And part of the issue was I like to work really hard, and I don't always listen to my body when it's telling me things. So my body takes control and says, we're done. Because I'm stubborn that way sometimes. I tend to not necessarily overtrain, but push myself a little bit. And I think what happened was I overtrained, and I had some issues with inflammation and all kinds of stuff. I went to a orthopedic doctor just to check out, make sure I didn't have any actual hip joint injuries. I did some x-rays and stuff and determined that I don't. So then I go to my chiropractor, and he's been helping me a lot with getting everything straightened out, giving me advice on some PT stuff, what to do. I've been looking into just doing other things, finding different ways of preventing injury, preventing the pain, without necessarily getting into trying to, I don't want to do like painkiller type stuff. I'm not into that, but I'm looking at alternative stuff. Peptides is an option. Just a bunch of things just so I can get back in the game. I've been out a little bit. I've not been training nearly as much as I need to, especially since I got some important stuff coming up in the next year and a half or so that I need to be ready for. So it's been a little bit of a setback for me. So I wanted to kind of talk about how to deal with injury, and especially as you get older, recovery takes a little bit longer, right? And if you're missing things, it's hard to get. It's the further away you get from something, the harder it is to get back to it. So you got to be staying active and doing things you are capable of doing without obviously re-injuring or creating more issues for yourself. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about how we can deal with those things, and how we deal with injury, and how we get around not having to sit around and do nothing, right? When the doctor and my chiropractor told me I need to rest a little bit. Okay. I don't rest. I asked him, I said, here's the deal. When you say rest to me, I don't know what that means, because resting to me is I took a break for a little while, and then I got back to it. I slept, right? 6 hours, and I got up, and I'm back to it, right? Rest is a lot different for someone like me than it is for somebody who's not necessarily as active as I am, right? Some people might hear rest and go, oh, sweet, I get to sit around on the couch and watch Netflix and eat chips, right? That's not necessarily rest, right? So he's like, you need to do what we call active rest. He goes, you need to just scale down what you're doing, avoid the things that are creating the pain that's causing you to not be able to do stuff, work around the pain, and then just kind of taper off what you're doing a little bit. So that's active rest, right? So I wanted him to tell me exactly what he meant so I could do it, because my brain doesn't work that way. I need to know exactly what he wants me to do, or I'm not going to do it properly, and then I'm probably going to cause more problems for myself, right? So um, I'm one of those guys, and that's like, it's a little bit of pain. It'll go away. I'll just keep working, and then that'll make it go away, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't work, right? It actually created more issues for myself, and I've been dealing with it since the beginning of September. So that's been 3 months now, and it's gotten a lot better. I'm not going to say I'm 100% because I'm not. I'm probably 75 or 80%. Previously, the last probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would not be able to sit comfortably for more than 10 minutes at a time. It was just how it was, right? And I was just figuring out, how do I get this so I can actually sit? Like, I would be driving and it'd be just painful, like torturous pain. So I just wanted to, I've been coming up with ways to work around what I'm dealing with and still be able to train and do all the things I want to do. So it's been a challenge. So it's just something I wanted to, I'm sure other people have dealt with it or are currently dealing with it. I know Wes, you're dealing with it yourself. So it's just something I thought it might be, interesting to talk about.
Yeah. And I think, for me, when I look at this kind of, work that you're, i.e. dealing with on the injury side, I know how gung-ho I'm in the same bucket as you are, right? There is no, light speed for me. There's just go or
Yep.
not go. And I've had to really work hard on, I've got to do it light. I've got to start light. And I've been dealing with my back now, my back injury from lifting ice cream and lifting it out, 4 feet out from my body and lifting up ice cream pails that are 30 pounds and doing it, hundreds of times a week. And although I would say I had pretty good form doing it, I wasn't doing any what I would call compensating exercise, something that was building muscles on the other side of the world that I was working inside of. And I wasn't doing the normal exercise that I'm used to doing. So for me, I started from scratch. I literally went back to basics. I've started working out about a month ago now, and I'm still doing, I'm doing 20 push-ups instead of 50. Now, could I do 50? Most likely. But I'm doing 20 and I'm doing them in a whole new way, right? So for me, I'm really respecting what I've hurt, and I know it needs to heal, and I know that I need to keep blood pumping through, and I know I need to keep getting some type of exercise to work on that.
Yep.
So I've changed that regimen. And currently it seems to be working really well. And I've also started losing weight. I mean, how many of you that are listening to this could stand to lose a pound or two?
Or 5.
10 or 15, or in my case, 40. I hide weight really well, which is not a good thing because it tends to mean it's around all your organs. And so for me, it's a health journey, a healing journey, and allowing that journey to be rather than, hey, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in a month because I know how to lose 20 pounds in a month. No, I'm going to work on losing 5 pounds in a month, very slow, and compensating for that, managing how I eat, managing my sleep for the first time. I mean, John, Mr. Yarwood will probably laugh at this because, I'm actually getting 6 or 7 hours of sleep a night, which is a whole new world for me. I was the 3 to 4 hour guy, and then at the weekend I might get 8 or 9. And the difference, even in the healing of my back. So when we look at, what are the things that we need to be responsible for, is, okay, so if I'm going to train my body to heal, I have to incorporate sleep. I have to incorporate good food.
Mm-hmm.
I have to incorporate enough water consistently over time, not just, pound some down.
Yep.
So, it really is one of those things. And I know that for me now, we talk every week, a couple of times a week. And every time we talk, I'm reminded of, am I doing the training that I need to be doing to get myself back into martial arts, which is at some level, another level higher than where I'm at in my recovery stage. And I'm excited because, I couldn't even kick my foot knee height 2 months ago.
Yep.
Because my lower back hurt so bad.
Yep. Yeah, and the thing for me is like, little background, I'm going to be testing for my 6th degree black belt in July of next year. And I've been training for this for quite a while, and I've had a setback because the training has slowed because it hurts so much. And when it hurts, I just don't want to do it, right? And instead of for a little while, instead of figuring out how to get around it and find other ways to do stuff, I just stopped, right? And that's not that's not me, right? And my mindset was like, well, it hurts really bad, so I'm not going to do it. I went too far the other direction and didn't do anything. And so I take it back. I did walk, but that's about all I've done, right? Or was doing. So, getting back into, okay, I know I can't do specific certain things, but that doesn't mean I can't do the other things that don't cause pain, that aren't disrupting my healing, right? So finding something else to be able to do that is still pushing me forward, might necessarily the exact progress I'm looking for, but allowing me to, move forward a little bit. So I'm not, because if I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backward, and that I can't afford to do that. If I want to be able to be ready in July to test for my 6th degree black belt, I got to be ready. And if I'm not doing the work, I'm not going to be ready. I can guarantee you that. So I had to find a different way to be able to get as much done as I could around what I need to do without directly aggravating my injury or re-aggravating it. So that's been a big challenge, right? Because the problem you have is if you continue to do the things that caused the problem in the first place, it doesn't fix anything. As a matter of fact, it makes it worse. And when it's worse, that means you set your healing back that much further, and then all the other things, all the dominoes keep going. So, you gotta train around what you're doing to make sure that you're at least staying, base level and not losing ground.
The other thing too that I think is when we train around the injury, back me up on this or nudge me in the right direction. But a lot of times injuries happen doing a multitude of exercise one specific way, and we get it injured, and we find out the part of the injury is because the stuff around it wasn't strong enough and hadn't been exercised enough.
Yep.
So for me, one of the things, I just picked up one of those power plates, the vibration platforms, and that's having a world of difference. I mean, I had one of the affordable ones, a couple $100. It was great. Just one direction. This one is, is basically in all directions. It goes forward, back, side to side, up and down. And the difference that I'm seeing is I'm starting to see a real difference in all my knees. Rather than hurting because I'm on a treadmill walking or running, my knees now are getting a workout all the way around. And, in back and front, my quads, my calves.
Yep.
And I can see why this machine is so good when people get injured, for bringing them back.
Yeah, when you work, and I think your body is sending you a signal that, hey, what you were doing is creating problems for the rest of the body, right? So I'm going to shut this part down so you can fix everything else, which will make this part stronger, right? Even though you're not doing anything specifically on that part, you overused it and your body said, we're done. Fix everything else, right? So now, whether we want to or not, our body is telling us, here, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed. When all those things get fixed, guess what happens to the original injury? Ah, magic.
Yep, and it's literally like it's been on had a vacation.
Yep.
But now when it comes online, it's being supported by everything around it.
Yep. It's actually stronger because of its supporting cast.
Hey, I like that, the supporting cast. I got to remember that. Because that really is what it is.
Yep.
I look at this whole thing, treat recovery like training. The best example I have for this in the business coaching world is when somebody loses a job and they're looking to find a new job. And you ask them, so what did you do today? Oh, well, I got up about 10 o'clock and, oh, yeah, I made a couple calls about 11. Then I ate lunch and I took the dog for a walk. And then, then I did another couple calls between one.
Check my Facebook.
I went and picked up my kids because I
went on TikTok.
And one of the things that, I tell my clients and the people is like, look, you have to work really hard on looking for a job like a full-time job.
Yep.
You get up in the morning and have your breakfast.
Get dressed. Take a shower.
Dress for success, whatever that looks like.
Yep.
Because so many people laugh and go, oh, I just had a polo shirt on, but I was in my underwear all day. And it's like, okay, how did the day go?
How many jobs did you find today?
And it's like, look, you have to take it seriously. So when our number 5 here is treat recovery like training, I look at that and go, yep. It may not be 5 sets of 20. It may be 3 sets of 10, but treat that 3 sets of 10 like it was 5 sets of 20.
Yep.
And I'll tell you one thing, where did I see it? But I was listening to either YouTube or something about working out, where they said, it was with Chuck Norris and an MMA fighter and they were in the gym working out, and this is a bodybuilding MMA fighter. And Chuck Norris, they were, he's 70 years old. And And he said, okay, we're going to test how strong we are. And he had the guy use the bar on the bench. And the idea was to do a perfect form bench press with a slow count down and then up. And the guy, and Chuck showed the example, and he did, I think he stopped at like 30. And this big burly guy, right, that could put plates on and lift, 350 or 400 pounds, gets down with this. And by the time he'd done 11, he was sweating. And he barely got to 15. And when he was going to 15, he was shaking. And what he came away, and at the end, towards the end, he was sharing his experience, and he said, what I learned from Chuck was it's not about strength. It's not about this powerhouse. It's about control.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, I get that now, and I'm not as bad as I was. Like in college, it was all about, I wanted 3 plates. I remember when it was, I remember the first time I had 3 plates on both sides, and I got to do 1 rep, and I was like, yeah. I was so excited. And, but now at my age now, and for the last, I don't know, a couple decades, I've been doing, I do 15 reps or 20 reps. And my goal is to have them be as clean as possible. No bending my back, no using my feet and arching my back. So I think that's the other thing is, when you're treating recovery like training, make sure that recovery is exceptional. Mm-hmm. It is 90%. It's 100%.
Yep. Yeah, and you talked about, when we go back to, be looking for a job is your job, right? Well, number 4 here, stay in the training environment, right? When you're talking about, that's your job, that's a mindset, right? Be present in what it is that you were already doing. Because if you check out from that, it's going to be that much harder to get back to it, because it's easy to not, like for me, it'd be easy for me to not go back to the gym, to not go back to the dojo, because I've been gone for so long. Well, I don't need to go now. I'm good, right? If you get in that mindset and you get yourself out of it, it's a lot harder to get back into it, right? Sure, you're going to have some things that you're not going to be able to do, but if you're around it and you're partaking in it, you're making sure that it's part of your daily routine, it's way easier to start to ramp it back up again when you're recovering. But if you get out of it, getting back into it's like, I don't feel like it anymore. I liken it to a kid who's been gone for a couple of weeks from karate because maybe they took a break, or mom and dad had some stuff and weren't able to get them there or whatever. The kid's like, I don't feel like going back. I don't want to go. I don't, and the longer you're away from it, the harder it is to get back to it. And so staying engaged, involved, and within, reach of whatever it is that you're doing, staying around the environment keeps it active in you.
What are your thoughts about, people have, what's it? I think the word I'm looking for is acute injuries, where you break a bone.
Yeah.
Right. And there are certain things like that where you've got to be mindful, right? What's your recommendation about that kind of what I would once again call acute injury?
Well, I mean, if you're still mobile, you can still go be there, right? Maybe maybe you had a broken leg, right? And you're in like a big boot or a cast or something, so you physically can't like go train on the mats, right? But can you help around the dojo? Can you be somebody who can hold pads for other kids? Can you sit down and help at the front desk? Can you still study? Do your eyes still work? Does your brain still work? Right? Can you watch video of the form that you've been working on? Can you study the moves, the we have an instructor book. Can you study about being an instructor? I mean, there's so many other things that go around just the physical part of the training that you don't, everything doesn't just suddenly halt when you can't kick. Well, you can still punch, can't you? Can you still punch a bag? Right? You can still be there. You can still go be part of it. Maybe there's just so many ways to come up with excuses for not doing it, but there's so many other ways that are like, hey, I can do this, I can do that, I can be present there, I can go help them out. Maybe the front desk needs some help. Maybe they need to some phone call. Who knows, right? There's 100 different things that you can find to help yourself be part of it, to still do stuff, be engaged, as opposed to just creating an excuse. Well, my leg's broken, I'm done. Right? It's B as in B, S as in S.
Yeah, it's and by the way, everybody, as I'm listening, I'm one of these guilty parties. The last time I was in the dojo was a long time ago. I think it was for Father Hennepin Day. Right. And
June.
I've got June. Yep. And I've got all the excuses in the world. Right. So that's one of the things that, I need to put back. And it's funny because if you were to look at my calendar, you would still see, I don't have
Mondays and Thursdays at 3:30, less training. I have it on my calendar right here.
and it's hold on. Now you force me to show.
See? I don't know if you can see it. Right there. It says less training, 3:30 on Mondays.
Yep. And it's still there. It's right where that.
Oh, look. There's Thursday, too. Yep. It's still on my list.
Yeah. All right. Well, the challenge is on. I think he chose this topic, everybody, just to poke. And and there's always, the one thing as a coach, the one thing I always give is there's always grace, right? There definitely is place for grace and place for expanding who you are and what you're up to, right? Because it is very easy in life to fill the space of working out with work. And it's the first place for me. And I'll be straight about this. There's times somebody says, well, can you meet this afternoon? And I look and I see training with John Yarwood. Well, I can't train right now. Poof, it's gone. So yes, there is that. And, the goal is to try and overcome that and have the support of somebody that isn't poking you to figure out how to make that happen. Oh, look at that. It's 30 minutes.
Hey, look at that. Time to go. Now he's right on time. All right, let's go.
That's all right. We got 11 people watching right now.
They're all going to hold you accountable now.
Well, yeah,
Not just me.
Funny. Yeah, it's definitely funny. So welcome to the game, right? Welcome to the game to take a look. And there may be that time at the very beginning of an injury where you do have to respect it. And
Yep.
you do have to mentally steel yourself for what's next. And
Yep.
I think as I'm seeing in this conversation, so I'm gonna give a poke right back to Mr. Yarwood here. I didn't have him calling me out and saying, "Hey, you need to come to the gym. Come and do just punching on the bag. Just come and stand for a little while and just dress up and come and join. Come and help." He did today. He said that today, but he hasn't said that up till today. So I just want to point that out. So I'm going to give him a little grief.
So he's placing responsibility back on me, like it's my job to drag his ass into the gym.
Nope. Not at all. But it is always good to have that coach giving you a push. So I take wholeheartedly that this is my poke. This is my push. And I'll be happy to come back next week with an update, and we'll see how.
So just to let everybody know, he just told me that I get to start bothering him about getting into the gym. So he opened up a can of worms.
Nope, it's just a way sometimes. Yeah, I mean, there are certain people that aren't coachable, right? They're clearly not. You call them. At some point, it's like, you know what? I've called you 5 times.
Yep. Or they always have an excuse.
Yep.
They find a reason not to.
And by the way, we can all, even high schoolers, can find an excuse not to.
Yep.
Right? And parents can find excuses not to with their kids.
Right? Imagine if people put enough as much effort into finding an excuse to do it than to not do it.
Ooh. There you go.
We all find excuses. Just what do you find an excuse for? To do it or to not do it?
Now we're talking. Now that's a game worth playing. That is definitely a game worth playing. All right. Well, the challenge is on. As we sit here, both coaches, both with games, we're going to take it on and we'll share our results next week. And thank you from my point of view, and I'll let Mr. Yarwood speak. Thanks for listening. For those of you that have been watching from X, from Less is More Coaching, from my Facebook site, from Yarwood's Martial Arts, thank you. We do appreciate and acknowledge that it always takes, time is the most precious asset that we have. So thank you for your time today. Mr. Yarwood.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate it too, because my goal is to get to as many ears as possible with what we're talking about. I mean, this is my thing. I mean, I want to help as many people as I can, do whatever it is, succeed, thrive, whatever you got to do. And to have people out there who are interested in spending their time listening to what we're saying, it just means I want to do it more. So thank you. And if you're injured, my football coach always used to ask me this question, or all of us players, are you injured or are you hurt? Because if you're hurt, you can still play. If you're injured, we got to take you out and figure out a different thing for you. So have that in mind. Are you injured or are you hurt? If you're hurt, that's different. So, be mindful of the difference. Make sure that you're doing it the right way. Don't hurt yourself more. Don't make it worse. But still, don't quit. Don't give yourself an excuse to do stuff, because it's a lot harder to get back into it once you stop. So keep it up. Keep working. Find a way to train, to whatever it is you need to do. Don't give yourself an out. Don't do it, because you'll regret it.
And for fun, I do have an incentive. I get to go get a black uniform.
There you
So
go.
I'm pretty excited. There's actually an incentive for me to go and then get that tailored with our Brenda from Amazing Alterations. So
Yep.
super excited. I'm excited for that. You know, it's something I've been working a long time for, in sharing with people and hoping that some people would take my invitation and show up, and they are enjoying it. So it's good to see.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.